Hey everybody, welcome to Marketing Trends. This is your host, Jeremy Bergeron, Vice President of Media Strategy at Mission.org. And today we have on the show, he's really here, Kevin Osborne, Senior Vice President of Client Strategy at Acceleration Partners. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Jeremy. Happy to be here.
Dude, super excited, man. Like I love a lot of what I get to do as a host, connecting with badasses like you. I love that part. But when I get a topic like affiliate marketing and kind of partnerships at that level, that's something that I have been so curious about for a long time. And I've seen different brands play really well. I've seen brands miss the mark. I've seen brands don't play at all. And so you're in a really interesting industry, and I want to get into all that, but I just want to say, so pumped to have you. Let's start with the beginning for you. Let's start with kind of the genesis of marketing for you. Like, what was it that happened? Was it some interaction you had with a brand, or was it a campaign? Like, what first grabbed you back in the days of you discovering marketing and discovering the power of marketing for brands?
Yeah, so I guess I can give you the long answer or the short answer. The long answer is a bit of a story, and it actually started back in high school. I actually got a job driving an ice cream truck for the summer.
I love it. I love it.
Right? Every high school kid's dream. But for me, honestly, I was focused on business. I had done some other kind of summer jobs before and did some kind of business development things for some people that I knew. But ultimately, this is a place where I basically rented an ice cream truck, right? So I paid a flat fee to rent an ice cream truck, and then basically I had the truck for the day, right? And there's a little bit of a rev share with the people that leased it to me, but at the end of the day, this thing was mine for 12 hours a day, and I could do what I wanted with it. And well, it seems like a silly example. The truth of the matter was, it was kind of my first foray into marketing, and actually my first foray into technically affiliate marketing. So I had this tool. I could go out there and kind of generate all the revenue I wanted with it. So
wow.
A lot of people used to focus on the kids after school, take the truck out at 3. But I realized actually I had a lot of business parks on my route. So I'd rent the truck at 12. I'd hit up some office buildings. A big manager would come out and buy the highest cost ice cream and a whole boatload of it for everybody on his team. And
wow,
for me, it was fascinating, right? And there's just all these different kind of consumer behavior you could see between kids and adults and playing the music and different routes. And wow. I don't know, it kind of just hooked me. So I was in it from there. I
love that. I think that's amazing. What a boot camp in like entrepreneurship, marketing, like, just a full understanding, partnerships, relationships, like what a really cool thing to go through. And then I'm sure I can see how that was something that lit you up and probably started a real interest there. What was next for you? What did you do next? What did you parlay that experience in? And what did you get into next?
Yeah. So, out of school, I worked for a startup company. We were actually in print media. And we were focusing on college campuses and really just how to capture that college student audience and do it in a way that worked for the brands that we worked with. So, it was a really interesting kind of foray into marketing, print media, targeting certain demographics and how to penetrate these very kind of specific audiences in these very specific places. And then also kind of the scalability of that, right? How do you take this thing that worked at 4 colleges and blow it up to 20, blow it up to 100?
Wow.
So looking at that and dealing with local businesses, national brands, national agencies, again, kind of to the boot camp point, it was really kind of my first dive into, really professional marketing and how you kind of worked with different media outlets, different brands, how to kind of communicate to these audiences.
Wow.
I really grabbed onto it.
I love it, man. I wasn't super familiar with AP, and I say AP to our audience. I'm already in the in club. It's Acceleration Partners, but I wasn't super familiar with the size and scope of Acceleration Partners, a very big organization in this affiliate kind of marketing space. But for our audience, can you give us kind of the overview of really the reach and scale of Acceleration Partners?
Yeah, happy to. So we've been around for about 14 years now, but honestly, in the last 5, we've kind of really hit that incline. So we've gone from 40 people to about 240 in the last 4 years.
Wow.
We now manage about 175 different programs around the world. So we're not just in the US now, we're actually in EMEA, APAC, and Latin America as well. And yeah, we really feel like we're trusted by the world's largest brands.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I saw something on the website about so many billions of transactions you guys have been around. There was something about like 4 or 5 billion or something ridiculous like that. Revenue generated or through your partnerships or something to that effect?
Correct. Yeah. So as I mentioned, we manage some pretty large scale brands, and with that, they have these massive, affiliate and partnership programs. And,
I,
you're talking about hundreds of thousands of different partners driving transactions and driving awareness for the brands that we manage.
So you, from the outside looking in, you saw this opportunity at Acceleration Partners. They're obviously a big player in the space. You then decide to join. This is going to be a beautiful dance. You start to really get involved on and seeing a lot of what's working inside some of these brands, maybe what's not working. I'm really curious about that part because now you're getting this education in affiliate marketing and how to really build like robust programs, right? There's the internet marketing aspect where if you're selling things online and you can have affiliates, and that's great, but then there's also more robust programs you can put into place. And so talk about that education for you and some of the things you were learning about working with brands of all sizes in this affiliate kind of marketing world.
Yeah, I think what's fascinating about affiliate, and look, I think it may help as well, just to back up and give a little bit of our perspective on kind of this affiliate universe, because a lot of people use different terminology, and I think it actually triggers a lot of assumptions about what quote unquote affiliate marketing is. I think really our perspective is affiliate is actually just a payment mechanism. So in our universe, we look at brands that are trying to, acquire subscribers, signups, sell shoes, whatever it may be, right? And at the end of the day, affiliate is simply a channel that's able to pay partners once an outcome takes place. So once a sale takes place, right? The universe of online marketing, of course, there's awareness and CPM based, there's engagement and CPC based. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of marketers are trying to get to that final accountable metric, which is, does this drive sales, right? Is it hitting that final KPI? And I think what this kind of world enables marketers to do is spend media in that fashion, right? When a sale takes place, when an action takes place, then you pay your partner, not before that fact.
So what stage are you working with brands in terms of putting, together an affiliate marketing strategy where maybe it doesn't want to exist now, or they have some version of it? Because to me, there's like so many different size companies and industries that you could begin to work with. Who's kind of the sweet spot for your business?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, over the last 3 or 4 years, it's been really these direct to consumer companies, right?
Okay.
Whether it's the mattress space, whether it's retail, whether now it's healthcare and nutrition, CPG, meal kits. A lot of these businesses that have kind of bypassed the brick and mortar experience and have really geared in on how to drive acquisition cost effectively at scale. And
yeah, I was saying, is there maybe a D2C brand, or if you can say the name, that's cool. If you can't, just a story around a brand that maybe came to you that had some opportunity that, of course, after partnering with you was able to see some really interesting outcomes.
Yeah, I mean, probably some brand examples I can give is if you think of Pura Vida, right? And they're actually sold in brick and mortar as well and some boutique retail. But, fascinating company, amazing story, really great brand story and position that they didn't want to lose sight of as they started to market more broadly. Mm-hmm. And, that was a great case of, a very good relationship we had with the client. They had an affiliate program. It was very, I think what some people fall into the trap of, if there's some partners out there that really operate well in this space, and they've traditionally been loyalty and coupon. And primarily that's because brands have not become sophisticated enough to actually, you can cut this, but basically they have become sophisticated enough to actually track and measure and make these partners accountable. So Pura Vida fell into that similar trap where they were working with a lot of coupon and discount, and they felt like they were, a lot of marketers feel this way. They're cheapening their brand, right? People are finding them. It's always some discount code, and half the time it does or doesn't work. So that's the challenge that a lot of these brands face. And they come to us and say, look, we understand these partners are necessary and they do drive that last click and that last conversion, but we need awareness, right? We want to tell our story, right? We have this amazing brand. We don't want people to see us as 20% off. They want us to see us as working with bracelet makers in El Salvador, right? That are paying and building a community down there that support our brand. And that's what we're able to do for clients like those, where they can actually tell that story through different media outlets. And those media outlets are then compensated on the sales that they drive, as opposed to just running the story in a PR fashion.
Interesting. So what do you believe high level a good affiliate marketing strategy looks like. Like, what are some of the examples of like some of the key ingredients that a brand's going to want to have in place that you know is going to yield success when it comes to affiliate marketing?
Yeah. So the real answer is going to vary brand to brand, right? But at the end of the day, I think what's the most important aspect about, again, affiliate, or what we refer to as partnership marketing, is, there's really a tool for every stage of the customer journey, right? If you want to work with awareness partners and mass media and content or niche and influencer, there is a strategy and there is ways to work with those partners so they see value from your partnership. There's ways to work with top 10 lists and guides where people go to kind of start to explore which product they want. And then, of course, there is the stuff at the bottom of the funnel where people need that extra 5-10% off to actually convert and make that purchase. So I think what I would tell people is, you can use this tool, partnership marketing, and the different players that are involved in it to drive any part of the consumer journey that you want to, right? You can drive awareness, you can drive engagement, you can drive conversion.
How close does Acceleration Partners work with a brand in terms of tools and technology and, kind of hand-holding and supporting someone who's, because some of these brands are quite large. And if you're coming in and doing a lot of surgery around their affiliate marketing or helping them start one where there wasn't one, how much involvement is that? Does that also really vary, or is it a really deep entrenched kind of relationship between, you and the brand you're working with?
Yeah, I mean, again, it varies brand to brand. Can you actually repeat the question? I'm not sure I grabbed the first part of that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So just in terms of, let's see if I can phrase it differently. How about this? What is the way that you approach client strategy when it comes to affiliate marketing? What's your approach when you're working with brands or leading your teams through that? Like, what's kind of some of the things that you're looking at and really assessing?
Yeah, great question. So it's really, the focus is alignment around the overall marketing strategy of the brand.
Okay.
Right? I think again, people tend to pigeonhole quote unquote affiliate marketing as kind of the last mile, right? Get that last click, drive that last sale. But again, we really encourage, especially these bigger brands that have a broader perspective on what this channel can do and how it can operate across other traditional media channels they're already running, right? Whether that's social, whether that's PR, whether it's media buying through traditional publishers. I think what we found with a lot of these forward-looking companies is they're seeing all of these things kind of starting to kind of converge into the same thing. And they really want to create measurement around that. And now today, obviously we're the agency, we provide the service, but there's actually some really sophisticated technology platforms out there as well that are great at looking at these deeper analytics, right? Whether that's attribution, whether that's certain measurement systems based on the partner type, whether it's different commissions based on the interaction that a customer has with the brand. Wow. Right? That technology enables us to actually push forward a lot of these new strategies that encompass a broader marketing.
That's awesome. So does Acceleration Partners actually have a suite of technology that they've created or make available, or is it more a la carte, like partnerships with certain brands depending on what people need?
Yep. So there are technology brands out there that have really pushed this industry forward. Platforms like Impact or Partnerize or Share a Sale. These are the guys that have really kind of built the foundational technology that provides all of the reporting, the attribution, the commissioning, right? That kind of is the technology layer that connects these relationships. But again, it's enabled us to actually drive new strategies, right? Now we can do coupon blocking. We can do frog leaping, where we give attribution to the person before the last click. We can do split commissioning, so different partners get a different percent of the sale that they drive. So that technology being driven forward has really enabled us to actually drive new tactics and new strategies for our brands.
I love that. What's some of the, you mentioned a couple things that are innovative, but what are some of the ways that maybe you're seeing innovation happen and unfold in the affiliate marketing space, whether it's tools or approaches, or what are some of the things maybe that you're seeing work well, things maybe you're testing? What's kind of where are we heading as an industry in the affiliate marketing world?
Yeah, so probably a great case study around this is something we did with a large mattress retailer. And they were very geared in as a marketing organization on incrementality, right? They're trying to find what are those segments, what are those touch points that are driving new to file customers and driving sales that, in their view, would not have happened otherwise. And so actually utilizing the technology platform they were on, we were actually able to gather the full click stream of every interaction that a customer had with the brand across all their partner types.
Oh, wow.
So once we're able to see the lay of that land, and it might be 50, 70 different partners that are interacting with this customer as they go through that sales process. Once we're able to see all that, we can then align that to how the brand sees incrementality, right? And that's an important aspect. Every brand you talk to potentially has a different definition of what incrementality is,
sure.
right? Different brands, the direct to consumer, brand to brand, brick and mortar retail, right? They see incrementality differently. And one of the first things we try to do is align with them on what is that definition? How do you view that? What is the value of that? Once we can really kind of build those parameters, then we can view it through that lens of that customer journey and align it to their definition. And then once we do that, this mattress retail is a good example. Once we were able to do that, then we could actually pay, the partners that are driving the most quote unquote incremental sales. We can then pay them more because the value is far outweighs the other partners in that channel. So when you're able to do this, you can effectively grow and actually just be smarter on how you work with the different partners.
Wow, that's awesome. So incrementality, I haven't heard that before. That's interesting. So you mentioned there's some things that you think about in helping brands come up because they look at it differently. But let's unpack that a little bit more for me. This how you help brands with this identifying what their incrementality is.
Yeah. So again, it's going to vary brand to brand, but a lot of people are focused on new to file customers, right? They might be focused on cart size, right? They want to drive customers that are going to have higher cart size. These brands, they all look at things a little bit differently. There's even some that look at their current CRM and say, hey, we have 200,000 customers, right? How do we drive that re-engagement with them? How do we drive them to buy that second level of subscription? How do we get them to buy the new product that we just released? Right. So there's very different views on, varying from brand to brand on how they view incrementality and what to them is valuable. Right. And that's our job to kind of align those things.
I really love that. Do you also support brands in identifying the right kind of partnerships, right? You said you could kind of see the activity of what partners are already engaging and how are they engaging? And if they're not directly partnered with us, then let's go get them as partners. Is part of that also built in the strategy and the approach?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. I mean, probably one of the key elements of our service is partner development, right? Okay. So these guys that are going out there and forging new relationships based on a brand strategy, right? We worked with a food delivery app that was trying to acquire new restaurants, right? And, there's certain ways that those restaurants engage with media and take action, and direct mail was actually one of those, right? So working with a direct mail service to actually get that brand's message in front of those restaurant owners was really effective. And again, this was all brokered on a cost per sign up basis, right? So again, most people wouldn't think of direct mail as an affiliate, but in this case, they absolutely were.
See, that's amazing. And that direct mail is something that has come up a few times on this show with we actually had the CEO of a direct mail automation company, and we got to go deep on that. But I also noticed some brands are playing more in that direct mail space and are finding a lot more lift there. Some are exploring new ways to use it and leverage it. And with technology, it can be a really powerful tool. And so I'm glad you mentioned that. So you're still keeping that in the tool belt as possibilities, because there's so much digital out there, so much options with MarTech and the intelligence you can get there with that. And then you still have direct mail, which is still equally awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. And look, it's all about this technology platform, because as long as things can be tracked through a centralized platform, right? In this case, we're using vanity codes. So when these guys sign up, they use the vanity code. Well, then it's triggered in the platform that's tracking all of the reporting and commissioning. Again, they're just another affiliate. And that's true for podcasting, right? Most people don't think of podcasters as affiliates, but they absolutely are, right? It's just about, can you track those activities in a central platform? And then you can actually give attribution and commission based on that partner driving activity.
Wow. What kind of growth are you seeing with some of these brands? And because you're seeing certainly the attribution that that you guys are building, you're seeing the lift and the outcome of that. But what's some of the you must see all kinds of really interesting outcomes for brands that are implementing the stuff you're helping them with. And I'm just curious how you view that growth. Like, do you expect things to move with such velocity now because there's so much technology and expertise available? Or is it more of setting the foundation correctly and then you're watching this thing grow and move because you put these pieces in place and you put the right ingredients in place of a good affiliate marketing, and it can change an entire business?
Absolutely. Right. And at the end of the day, you got to look at it almost just supply and demand, right? All these brands are the demand, right? They want to get out to customers. They want to drive new customers. They want to find channels that can communicate their brand and their value to a new set of customers. On the other side of that, you have the supply, right? Which maybe people think of as affiliates, or again, it could be a direct mailer. It could be a podcaster. It could be CNN or a major media publication that is willing to work with brands on a performance basis. And so at the end of the day, once the supply gets involved in this kind of universe of partner marketing, now they can access multiple brands, right? We might work with that direct mail brand to actually work with one specific brand. But now that they saw success with them, well, maybe there's another brand they can find success with, and maybe another one. And then all of a sudden, this new partner that's kind of entered the landscape is working with hundreds of different brands and working in kind of this partnership marketing universe.
Wow. I love it, man. So, man, the thing is that I find so interesting is the intelligence that you get to see across the landscape of folks that you're helping and supporting, because you get to see what's working and you get to see the impact of a really solid cornerstone affiliate marketing that's bringing in mass amounts of revenue and awesome relationships. And you can go deep into that world. So to me, the intelligence you have to see how this is working across industry is got to be some of the most valuable. Like if I'm leading marketing at any brand and I'm having coffee with you, I want to know all the stuff you've seen and the things that are working and the things that are not working and the things that the modern day CMO needs to be thinking about when it comes to affiliate marketing. Or is the stuff that I'm missing? Do I have the right resources? Are there table stakes that I'm missing because my brand is really big and we lost touch of it? These sorts of things that I just want to know your thoughts on and kind of your perspective on.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I think the challenge is, especially with bigger, older brands, they have some really established marketing channels. And with those channels are really established marketing teams. And it's hard to almost zoom out and say, which of this is redundant and which of this could be, actually under the same management, under the same umbrella. And I think that's a challenge a lot of CMOs, large brands are facing today. And I think when they see things that start to consolidate and put everything into that same place where they can actually view it all together and they can understand how these different channels interact with each other, it gives them a much clearer view into what is effective, right? And do these partners work or don't these partners work? And whether it's incrementality or whether it's any other measurement they want, instead of measuring across 20 different channels, you can start to consolidate it down to 2 or 3 and really get that narrow lens into exactly what's happening within that channel.
It's this thing that seems to happen inside of businesses of all shapes and sizes where things tend to get unnecessarily complicated. And it's like, wait a second, how can we simplify this? How can we use technology and use expertise to take these 35 different things? And like you said, look at how we can consolidate and streamline. And when you can simplify, you can scale, and it's like simplicity is what can scale organizations in a really rapid way versus let's add all these unnecessary things and make it really complicated. It's like, let's use technology where we know it helps. Then let's also build the right things and see how fast we can go.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And actually one of the spaces that's most interesting that's been growing the fastest is B2B, especially B to SMB, right? If you think of Squarespace or Logmein, right? These guys that are selling to whether it's a mom and pop or 100-person organization, right? They have these teams that are business development teams, and business development in that universe is pretty old school, right? It's guys with a Rolodex that are calling up certain partners or certain individuals that might run an accounting firm that are trying to get people to sign up for QuickBooks. And it's pretty disjointed and it's a big world, right? Some of these firms have 20, 30 people on these business development teams, and they're willing to invest because they're really efficient, right? These partners can really drive a significant amount of sales for a pretty reasonable cost. And so they've invested and built these big teams. today, a lot of that can be managed through the same platform, right? You can actually manage all of these relationships and all of these people as partnerships within this landscape. But, a lot of these cases, they're still disjointed, right? They might be managed on spreadsheets, right? With getting checks mailed to them every 2 weeks, right? It's still stuck in this kind of old school system where, a lot of these kind of more modern companies that are moving quickly are really consolidating this. And to your point, that creates a more efficient system and a more scalable system.
I love that. I want to comment on the B2B, on the kind of B to SMB play, which we had the chief marketing officer of UPS on, Kevin Warren, amazing guy. He's been there for a couple of years, and UPS will probably cross 90 billion, next year, if not more. And he talked about the last couple of years, how he really encouraged UPS to really focus on the SMB market and think about how they could really serve that market. And they made a big bet on the SMB world, and it's paying off, and it's continuing to pay off. And it's because of that attention towards that. And it just kind of confirms your point of the opportunity with B to SMB specifically. I think it's a massive one. And I also wanted to ask you about kind of industry, looking out across the industries. Where are you seeing the biggest opportunity for affiliate marketing where there really wasn't? Where are you seeing industries kind of take notice to this, brands of all shapes and sizes potentially, and start to double down and invest in affiliate marketing?
As far as the industries that are growing the fastest within affiliate marketing, there's these traditional, again, I talk about direct to consumer, right? These are the shoe brands that are now direct to your door, the shirts that are coming direct to your door, hats, whatever it may be, right? A lot of this traditional retail direct to consumer. These guys were living off social and SEM for years, right? They were maximizing those channels. They were driving new customers. They're doing it really cost efficiently. However, in the last year, 2 years, it's become inefficient, right? There is a point of diminishing returns where your bids have to go up and the value goes down. And at some point, you need to kind of explore other channels. Over the last 3-4 years, we've seen a huge adoption by those specific companies coming into affiliate because it provides scalability, cost efficiency, and new audiences. And I think that's where we've seen massive growth with those companies moving into affiliate and really changing the landscape and bringing on new innovative partnerships. Some of them are even working together on a brand-to-brand function where they can actually co-market to their audiences. So a lot of those guys are they're smart, they're nimble, they move quickly. But as far as, I think your original question.
What stage are these D2C brands that are like ripe for launching something powerful with acceleration partners?
Yeah, most of the brands that we speak with, if they're not doing if they're not at that MVP stage yet, right? If they have not built a real business where they're driving meaningful revenue and they have active marketing channels that are trackable and they've kind of crossed that threshold to kind of being a legitimate brand. Okay. Generally they're seeing 10, 15 million in direct to site sales. Okay. That's kind of the minimum threshold where it does start to make sense to build out this channel.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm curious about brands like Allbirds. For example, Allbirds came out the gate D2C, really hit it well. I don't know how much affiliate marketing was a part of their success. Now they're getting into retail with their own stores, and I'd be curious to kind of investigate them a bit and figure out how much affiliate market did they play that card early, because they certainly, from a case study perspective of a brand that did really well D2C and now is omni-channel essentially. How much of affiliate marketing was a part of their success? And do you pay attention to some of these D2C brands like that and see what they're doing, what they're not doing?
Can I go off the record here for a second?
Yes, you can.
We manage Allbirds.
Nice. Dang it. So, okay.
We can't promote, like contractually, we can't promote that relationship.
Dude, because that's amazing. This is great. This is great. Okay.
We brought them on 2 years ago when they were kind of doing like little league affiliate marketing.
Wow.
And we've since blown that up. Right. And they are a content only, between us, they are a content only program. And we have done some really phenomenal things with them. We have a number of case studies about how they've worked with different, whether it's Sneaker News or whether it's CNN or whether it's Business Insider, right? We've done some really cool promotions with those guys, and they're all affiliate partnerships.
Yeah, so Allbirds, exciting brand. These are some of the D2C brands. Like we've had Aloha on the show as well. And there's a lot of really cool D2C brands that I start to pay attention to and think about, wow, what are they doing? How are they implementing affiliate marketing? Because we can see the outcome and we can see how fast some of these brands are moving, man. So the information and the support and the strategy that you have at the helm of, client strategy it's insane, man. I love that because you get to see so much interesting things that are what's working, what's not. And you kind of get to tip your hat to a lot of the success these brands are having. You may not be able to say them by name, and that's okay. But look, it's safe to say that Acceleration Partners, man, they're working with some powerful brands, and that's cool, man. So what's next? Like, what's next for you? What's next for Acceleration Partners? I mean, to me, a guy like you's got some awesome experience. You're already, really leading a lot of strategy when it comes to client side stuff, and this world really well. What's kind of lighting you up now? Where are you headed? What are you kind of thinking about as kind of next things for you? Because you have such really cool experience.
Yeah, well, I think a huge part of this business, as I mentioned earlier, was really about the supply side. I think what we're trying to do as a brand and what we're trying to do for our clients is really build out this quote unquote performance partnership space, right? So these are kind of the different channels of communication with consumers, right? Whether that is mass media, influencer, podcast, direct mail, TV, right? We just believe there is this infinite market of communication channels that can reach different audiences in different ways, offline, online, so many different mechanisms to actually reach these people and engage with them, whether it's a human connection or digital connection. We believe all of those are performance partnerships. And as long as you can track those through a central source, the opportunities are kind of endless. A little cheesy, but the truth is that's where the market is, and that's where a lot of these partners are moving towards kind of this pay on performance model.
How does Acceleration Partners stay relevant as we continue to move so fast, where technology and AI and machine learning and things are moving, as so quick? How does AP really stay relevant for the next several years?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is an ability to get a bit there's an ability to live off what you've already done, right? You've built a lot of these partnerships. They're performing, they're doing well. It's easy to say this is great, everyone's happy. I think what the push and what the challenge is and what we challenge ourselves to do at Acceleration Partners is continue to grow, right? It takes a lot of work to forge new relationships. It takes a lot of work to strip down the current model that a brand's using and reinvent it to something that we believe can perform better. And I think that's what we always challenge ourselves with, is we can't live on the status quo, because this world of media and partnerships, it changes every week, every day. And so we need to continue to innovate and push these brands forward, or they're going to go elsewhere.
I love that. That's awesome. It's clear that, you and the leadership team there and just the whole squad at Acceleration Partners cares about the future, like cares where this industry is going. It's why you've grown so quickly. It's why you're not slowing down, obviously. Kevin and I spoke off the record about some really exciting stuff that they're doing. And let's just say, pay attention to this company, folks, not only from what they're providing the industry or industries, supporting folks in this world, but they're not going anywhere. And I think it's cool. And obviously, Kevin, it's clear to see like you're a reason why. You're a key reason why we'll see AP in 5-10 years continuing to lead the way when it comes to affiliate marketing. And just congratulations on the success, man. I've loved having you on the show. This is really exceptional. And we've loved having you, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. It's an honor to be here. Thanks so much.
Sweet. Okay, we're going to do a little hot seat round, not a round table, a lightning round for our sponsors. Some cool, fun questions. And then we can wrap, man. You've done great job. Okay. Marketing Trends Podcast is brought to you by Salesforce. We bring marketing and engagement together. Learn more at salesforce.com/marketing. Today we have Kevin Osborne, Senior Vice President of Client Strategy at Acceleration Partners. First question, Kevin, what was the most fun thing about playing professional hockey?
Professional hockey in France. So for me, it was traveling. I got to travel all over France, played in a lot of cool places, played in some really played against some really interesting teams. It was an awesome experience just to travel around France and meet so many people and see so many different arenas and so many different places. It was a really cool experience.
I love that. Who's one of the best mentors you've had?
Oof. Honestly, I don't want a brown nose, but I think our current CEO. So Bob Glazer's just a phenomenal guy. He's smart, he's capable, he's ambitious. He's a natural leader, and he just finds a way to bring out the best in people. So, being able to work alongside him and see how he operates and how he interacts with people has been really invaluable.
Love that. Who would you most like to meet and why?
I got to say Brett Hull. I think that guy is a complete legend for a million different reasons. And if I ever had the opportunity, I'd love to play 18 holes with him.
I love it. Awesome. Do you have any superstitions?
When I used to play sports, I had a lot of superstitions. In hockey, you got a lot of equipment, and I put it on in a very specific order, in a very specific way, based on a very specific time. So maybe a little OCD, but as an athlete, I was pretty superstitious.
I like it. Okay, best advice for someone who's maybe a first-time executive getting into affiliate marketing in that world. What's some of your best advice for someone entering into the world that you've been in for this long?
You got to take chances and innovate. I think you can't be shy. You can't sit on the wall and wait for things to happen or learn from people that you think know everything. Chances are, if you're in that position, it's for a reason. And you got to be ambitious. You got to make the move. You got to try things. You got to test. And I think you got to put yourself forward.
I love it. Last question, Kevin. What is one skill you've really cultivated in the last 5 years that you think has really helped propel you to some of the success you're seeing in your career and your life?
Yeah, it's honestly listening. I think in this world where there's so much noise and there's so many people talking all the time, and it's hard because everybody's kind of waiting for their turn to speak. But I really believe you don't learn anything if you're talking. You learn something when other people are talking. So listening and engaging and going a level deeper to really understand people is invaluable.
I love it. You said what a lot of my favorite marketing leaders that we've had on the shows and other executives, that's what they say. They say listening, dude. We've had folks from, Deloitte, PwC, and Intel, and all these amazing Google, Walmart. And you ask some of these executives, like, what's the thing they really cultivate? They say listening. So I love that you said that, man. It's one of my favorites. And I feel like I get to do that on this show, is really listen and hear the things that are being said, hear the space in between what's not said, because you're dropping all kinds of amazing nuggets on people. So listening, you heard it, folks. He's joined the ranks of other titans on this show. Listening is a skill you cannot get away from. So Kevin Osborne, such an honor, man. Thank you for being on the show.